International Women's Day is a wonderful chance to recognize the women who choose to smile every day despite fighting a silent battle. Those women who never given a chance to showcase their skills because society sees them as inferior or incompetent, as well as to those women who face discrimination just for being a woman.
The way I look at it in my lifetime is, I feel like women can do anything. There's really no limits. We've got women who've been prime minister, we've got judges, lawyers, mothers, we can do it all, which is such a nice, it's just great. I always thought growing up, being a girl was fantastic. It just gave me so many opportunities.
Yep.
So I think it's just a day to reflect on that and to not take that for granted, because it wasn't always that way.
Career highlight to date is probably having the opportunity to go to London and work with one of the major banks in the UK on a cooperative partnership piece. So that was quite a great experience, just to sort of see how things work on the other side of the world, and also see, on the topic of International Women's Day, how different it is, in a much more established country where, there's women of different walks, like I mentioned, different coloured skin, different ages, young and old, in very senior executive roles, which makes me think that, we've got a little while to go, but certainly a massive career highlight for me, because really just seeing, where organisations that have been around, a couple of hundred years longer than ours has landed, and how different it is. So that was a real career highlight for me.
Because I've been in this industry for almost 40 years now, I don't really have one highlight. Like I look at my life, and I've always been goal-oriented and very driven to succeed. And I can go back to when I was, 16 years old, and I was I raced windsurfers, and I won the world championships at 16. And then at night.
That never came out in any of that competition. Wow.
Yeah, but it's so long ago. But that's who I was. I've always been driven to whatever I do to do it the best. And then I worked for at the time, the windsurfing distributor. I taught lessons all over the country. And I wanted to have my own windsurfing business. So I worked for a guy and learned everything from him, and then went out on my own at 19 and started my own business. Went to Europe and imported 3 different brands of windsurfers, which was unheard of. I was the first person to do that in the US, brought container loads full of these boards back to the US at 19. I look back on that and I think, how the heck did I even do that? And who would have trusted me with that? That was a lot of money, to just ship these boards over and hope that I could sell them. So I ran that business for 7 years. When I started, I said, I don't want to do it more than 7 years. I did that, sold it to a business partner that I had, and he still runs it today. And then I got into real estate just kind of on a whim. Because I was interested in real estate, and I'd bought my first piece of property, I think when I was 24. Because of my sales background from windsurfing, and having a very successful business there, real estate was a natural for me. So I just, from day one, started selling property and didn't think anything of it, really. I just thought that's what you needed to do, So, and so very quickly did well in real estate. At the time, we were working with Remax, which was a big franchise in the US, way bigger than it is here. In fact, it was the #1 franchise in the US. And Daryl and I parlayed our business into being in the top 10 of all Remax agents.
Wow.
In the US. we spoke all over the country about how to sell real estate. We developed a training system of how to teach new agents how to get into the business. We sold that business, moved here, and really started over, bought 3 Remax franchises here in Noosa, and took those from being, like having 2 agents to having 28 agents, ended up being awarded the International Broker of the Year award. And then we sold those successfully. And then we started Rouse Realty 14 years ago because we wanted to just do our own thing and just keep it simple and smaller and have more control of what we were doing. So I guess in a roundabout way, my answer to that question is all of those milestones or stepping stones just have led me to where I am now and have shaped my beliefs, have shaped who I am. And I guess my attitude is just whatever I do, I want to do it well.
The strength that women have is being emotionally flexible and good at building relationship. We know all, Kat, that women are very good at understanding the feelings of others and often use the skills to make connection with people. Women are very good at nurturing relationship, not only their children, but relationship of everyone, and supporting those people around them.
Planning, I am a huge planner. Like if you see the storage at work, we've got a huge whiteboard. It's got, little properties on it. Everything is planned out. List, my husband is forever making fun of me because I'm always writing lists. I like to feel that feeling of checking it off.
To be honest, it's really, for me, having 2 daughters, the importance is that women are in leadership, so that it inspires, the younger generations to believe that that's something they can do. Because, coming from a cultural background where a lot of women are, stay-at-home mums, you want to make sure that people believe that they can be more, and women, younger women believe that they can be more than that. But the different strengths, really, I think, is around that emotional intelligence and EQ is what I feel like, adds to the dynamic with having women in leadership.
International Women's Day, and really, I guess you've got a leadership team that's run by a woman, which is amazing. Look, I think diversity should be inclusive of all sex. I don't think we should sort of isolate women specifically, but I do believe as long as women are given the same and equal opportunities as what a male is given, and I think if that diversity is sort of fostered throughout any business, not just Made Comfy, but just any business, that equality and opportunities are there for the business at large.
To have a president announce that his next Supreme Court justice that he's going to pick is going to be female and Black, I just felt really bad for all the women, and that if they were in that pool of being picked, they're not being picked for their achievements, and their achievements even beyond that small list would have been amazing. Like you would have had to be the best judge or the best lawyer to even be thought of to be on the Supreme Court, which is an appointment for life in the US. It's a huge deal, but to break it down and say, oh, I'm appointing this person solely based on their sex and their race, took away all their achievements. How much better would she have felt if she hadn't even known that? I want to foster an environment where whatever anyone wants to do within our business, if they want to work to progress, to go into sales or go, run a portfolio or be a BDM, I'm happy to support them in whatever they want to do. And I say that to all of the people that we hire. I they just need to let me know which direction they want to go, and I'll help train them that way.
I think the most important relationship when I think about it is my grandma.
Yep.
She raised 6 kids. My granddad died quite young.
Yep.
And because I'm 5th generation born in Papua New Guinea, so
wow.
yeah, so she was running a business in Papua New Guinea by herself, and she just got in and got it done. Like, she didn't complain, she didn't, you know, whinge or whine. She was a tough cookie. And then also when my dad passed away quite young too. He also had a business in Papua New Guinea, and she was retired, and she just stepped in and went up and helped out, and until we could sell the business and get everything.
Wow.
Yeah, so I would say definitely my grandma is, yeah.
My business is called Sam's Pro Cleaning Services. Where does the name comes from? It is actually from my dad.
Oh, wow.
So I've been raised by a single father since I was 6 months old. So my parents got divorced when I was 6 months old, and all of the custodies goes to my dad, and he's been raising us since then, single-handed up until now. He didn't remarried, and he doesn't even have girlfriend. He doesn't even bother to look for one, and he dedicated his whole life for us, just for us.
Wow.
And that's the reason why I do this business, and I put his name into this business, so that you know, I want people to know his name. I want people to know him instead of me. I want him to be proud of what the achievements that I achieved.
I guess this is not a tip, but it will most likely an advice to those women who are planning to start a family while maintaining their careers to have a work balance. Work balance plays a crucial role, and I have 2 rules when it comes to work and family. First, do not let your work take away your attention and time for your family. Second, do not let your family be the reason why you cannot fulfill your duties and responsibility as an employee. Yeah, when it comes to the family, you can always ask, for example, time and schedule. You can ask your manager that if ever you can switch a specific schedule of your shift in order to attend personal matters, like sending your kids to school before going to work, preparing your kids for school, your husband, so that you will have this what you call self-fulfillment, that you are being a good mother and as well as a good employee.
Don't be afraid to start something new, even though that you don't know. You actually know. You will know. That's the thing. That's the thing about learning, and just be confident in whatever that you're doing. Whatever. I mean, whatever. Just be confident. Be strong. Try. Don't be afraid. That's it. Don't be afraid, because I know that some women, they are so afraid to go out and explore what life actually awaits for them. Just go and explore. Be brave.